Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, Michaela is singing, which means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of April the 13th, 2026. Brian and Michaela with you here. And Michaela, hopefully you had a nice time. If you listened to the lobby bar last week, you knew Michaela was taking a trip out of town to go see the sights in our nation's capital. Hopefully you had a good time. Did you have any good cocktails while you were there?
I had a few. I did. I found a couple of distilleries. Did you know that George Washington had a distillery? I didn't know
Everyone had a
that.
distillery.
I mean, you kind of
You
had
couldn't
to.
drink the water, right? Or something. I don't know.
Right. No, I mean maybe a little bit, but I was in the wine country. Apparently,
Oh yeah,
that whole area has some wine. I went to
that's true.
Jefferson's Winery. That was interesting. So yeah, I have
Limoncello.
all sorts of
Yeah.
things to report on the acts of drinking, and I have to tell you, there was I did have a mezcal old fashioned, which is interesting because it's
Okay.
it's smoky and dark, right? Mezcal is like my preferred tequila-esque drink because I love the smokiness of it, and I love that it's inside the drink and not just out like when you smoke like if you smoke an old fashioned, it can be very aromatic but not like deep inside the drink. And some people love that,
Oh,
but
okay.
I really like the smokiness inside it. And so I had a mezcal old fashioned, but today the lobby bar, you brought something that I think is going to really be delicious. I don't know how much it's going to taste like an old fashioned, but it's going to be really cool.
It's going to be good. Yeah, we must have been on the same wavelength. And I'm picking up what you're putting down there about how, you smoke a cocktail that's different than something that is smoky, like a smoky scotch or a smoky mezcal, in this instance. And yeah, I thought that this would be good because it seemed like light and nice for this time of year here. April 13th is we're going to be putting this together. And yeah, if you're ever in Virginia, go to wine country. It's beautiful up there. The wines are pretty good. I will say, overall, the ones I've been to a couple years back, we did a little wine tour. So if you're ever in that, was that like Charlottesville area specifically? That's where I
Mm.
think like the bulk of the wineries are there. And then, yeah, obviously like Monticello and stuff like that. But we are today making the Pineapple Mezcal Old Fashioned. I found this from candidcooks.com and it sounded pretty good. So let's go ahead and throw one together. So go ahead and grab yourself like a mixing glass with a big ice cube in it. And you're going to add to that 1.5 ounces of your mezcal. Dealer's choice there, whatever mezcal you want to use. If you don't get on with the funky smoky jam of a mezcal, you can just use a nice higher end tequila for this if you want to. But do the mezcal. I think you'll like it. So 1.5 ounces of that, 3/4 of an ounce of pineapple juice. 1/4 of an ounce of lime juice, a dash of orange bitters, and then this calls for a dash of simple syrup. Whenever I'm doing an old fashioned, I'll either use a bar spoon full of sugar in lieu of a sugar cube because I don't keep sugar cubes on hand, or a bar spoon full of simple syrup. So go ahead and do that. I like to just give that a stir with the bitters just to make sure that's nice and mixed up. Add the rest of your fluids in there. Give that a nice stir over the ice, and then pour it into like a rocks glass with a big ice cube. I like the lime juice. That's kind of an interesting addition to an old fashioned. Obviously, the pineapple juice as well, but you're flavoring this up a little bit. I think the lime juice is important though because if you just have the mezcal and the pineapple juice, I think the pineapple could run the risk of getting a little sweet. So I think the lime juice is going to cut through that a little bit. So what do you think? This is like a part faux old fashioned and a part faux margarita. Very nice to sip over the rocks and maybe a good introduction to getting people into mezcal if you're not familiar.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that this is not going to be too sweet. I was a little concerned when I first saw the recipe because it does have simple syrup and pineapple juice, but I think you're right. That lime is going to kind of even that out with the acidity. Um, and the orange bitters is kind of nice. Usually an old fashioned has some sort of aromatic bitters. It's not necessarily orange. Sometimes it can be chocolate. I mean, there's hundreds of
Mhm.
bitters out there, but I think the orange is going to be nice too because it's going to add another dimension of citrus notes to it, which is gonna be good. It's gonna keep this from feeling like a tiki drink. Too
Mhm.
much
Yep.
pineapple for me, and I immediately am like, oh, it's a rum drink. I'm drinking a Mai Tai. And so you want to be careful not to overdo it with the pineapple for that reason. But the mezcal, man, I just love a good mezcal. I really, I wouldn't say that that's my favorite liquor, but I have this last year, 18 months, I've really been into it. And there's so many different kinds. Um, I really encourage people to give them a shot. They might not be your thing, and that's okay. If they're not, like you said, tequila's fine, just 100% agave. Please do yourself a favor and save
Yep.
yourself the hangover. Yeah, don't do anything else, please.
Save
Yeah.
yourself the hangover. Yeah, absolutely. I like this recipe. I like it as a base recipe as well to play around. You could play with other liquors in this. You could obviously play around with the bitters, and that's a good way to jazz up just a regular old fashioned. If you're getting a little bored of the same old, you can play around with those bitters there. That's a good way to introduce some new flavors. So yeah, the pineapple mezcal old fashioned sounded pretty good and sounded pretty good to go see Super Mario Galaxy movie is what everyone thought to themselves before they went out and saw it. Again, this weekend it led the way, $69 million here in its second week. Project Hail Mary coming in second. The drama coming in third, hanging out pretty good. $8.7 million for the drama in its third week out. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yumi, or its second week out. Yumi and Tuscany debuts with $8 million. Then Hoppers rounds out the top five. Michaela, I had never like heard anything about Yumi and Tuscany, and then I heard a lot of people talking about it and kind of the box office returns and stuff like that. Have you ever heard of this? Do you know of this? Is this something that's on your radar? But as far as Holly Bailey and the guy from Bridgerton, what's his name?
Yeah, Pierre Saint Jean or something.
Yeah,
Saint
something,
John. Yeah, no, and
something.
because of that, I mean, that was all I needed to know. Yes, I've
Roger
heard of
Jean
this.
Page, you were so close.
Roger. Well, Roger is amazing. I don't know. Yes, I've seen the preview to this, and it looks really good. It looks like something that I am going to want to see on like maybe a Galentine's weekend or like by myself because it's going to be
It looks attractive. I know that.
it sure does. It's kind of like it's kind of like I think more of a romantic comedy version of Under the Tuscan Sun. And I don't know if you saw that with Diane.
Okay, okay.
What's her name? Diane Lane? No, it's not Diane Lane. She was I can't remember her name, but she's really good. It's Diane something. Maybe it is Diane Lane. Might be. It might be. But that was more of a like coming into a woman coming into her
Diane
own and
Lane.
set in the
Can't
is it
confirm.
Diane Lane? Great, awesome. It's like more of a woman coming into her own in like middle age in Tuscany, happening to be in Tuscany, and this is more like a maybe a coming of age, but also like a total romantic comedy with two maybe of the most beautiful people on the planet in it. So I'm definitely gonna watch this. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the theater, but I am happy that it's doing as well as it is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there is, this is between seasons of films. It's not quite summer, so we don't have the summer blockbusters yet, and we don't have some of the really esoteric, like highbrow like films yet because it's not yet film Oscar season, right? So I'm glad that we're seeing something that we can all like take a breath and just kind of enjoy. Because after the Oscars, I really kind of need that in my life. And I think this is going to fit the
Yeah.
bill. I also am really excited about the drama. You and I had talked about this,
Hmm.
maybe being able to go see it. I'm really excited because it's Robert Pattinson, right? And Zendaya, I think.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I mean, again, some of the most beautiful people on the planet, they're getting married, and apparently not as all as it seems.
Yeah.
So
Apparently,
yeah.
there's some bananas bonkerness to that movie. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out. Hopper's staying strong there. Super Mario Galaxy, we're going to be going to see it actually tonight after we finish recording. You were traveling last week. I was dealing with some stuff last week, so we weren't able to make it out yet. Everyone else in the whole like planet has seen it's already up to like $630 million worldwide as of this recording right now. So we're going to see that tonight, and then we're going to be talking about it on our video version of the podcast later this week. So make sure you check that out, and looking forward to having some fun chatting about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Speaking of Zendaya, big week for her. Got the movie out there, is doing pretty well. Also have Euphoria is back. I think it actually started last night potentially, so that's back. We missed a couple of things in our week off last week from the regular lobby bar. The Boys started back up. Hacks started back up. Maul, the animated Star Wars thing on Disney Plus, that started last week. So those started. So catch up on those, and then Euphoria and Beef, something we talked about a couple weeks back here on the lobby bar, are starting this week. So a lot of good TV watching to coincide with some movies that everyone needs to get out and see. And maybe a movie we need to get out and see is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I didn't know much about this mummy story. Could be good, could be not. But it's called Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I totally had to figure out who that was because that meant nothing to me. Does Lee Cronin mean anything to you, Michaela?
Um, no, but I feel like it should. I feel like, look, There should be a new rule that if they say somebody's presenting something, it needs to be someone that at least 50 million people have heard the name of.
Yeah,
When a Quentin
it's like when
Tarantino
I was gonna say
presented Hero, right?
it's like when David Letterman used to do that like thing where they go out on the street and like ask people like general like knowledge questions. I feel like this should be something that people know, right? If you're going to put your name on front of something.
I would think so. Or but maybe we are just not in the know. So can you tell me who Lee Cronin
or
is?
or maybe it's like Jordan Peele presents everything now. Basically, is how that's going. Lee Cronin is a director. Did the Evil Dead Rise film. I think was kind of the most notable, but has done some other horror type of stuff, and I guess that's kind of his wheelhouse here to do the Mummy. I will say, just kind of watching this preview that obnoxiously plays on IMDb.com anytime I go to a movie, it looks pretty nice. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I have no real feedback on that. Am I going to go see it? Probably not. Starring Jack Reynor, Natalie Grace here in this one. But if you're into the horror, if you're into the Mummy, I don't know if this is like Universal like monster mummy, if it's like something else. I don't really know too much else about it beyond that. But that is coming out this week to lose inevitably to Super Mario and Project Hail Mary. So last week on the podcast, we talked about the best film ever made, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, Secret of the Ooze. And this week, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, doing a video episode there. So make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube or on Spotify. That's where you can catch the video version of the podcast. Michaela, we're going to be doing our hangout. I'm assuming you drank a lot more cocktails in Washington, D.C. that you're holding, like tight, like beneath the vest there to let all of the patrons know about. You looking forward to this month's hangout?
I am looking forward to this month's hangout. I am. I'm mostly looking forward to it because it's so cool to be able to talk about our favorite things like cocktails and movies in a live setting with our patrons there. You can be part of it if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, become a patron because it's really cool. It's one of my favorite things to do every month. But this month especially because when we do travel, we get to go find like really cool things and show off really cool bars and experiences that we have, and that's really fun. So shout out to our patrons who are already patrons, and if you're not a patron and you want to become one, that's super easy to do. So go do that. That would be awesome.
Go to that, patreon.com/drinkmovies. Yeah, absolutely. So check that out. Make sure you tune in again, like I said, for Super Mario Galaxy movie. We're seeing it tonight. Excited about that. We have a really inspired cocktail coming everyone's way, and maybe we'll get some good cocktails at the theater tonight. Time will tell on that. Hopefully, Regal has their act together, and we get to hang out with the bartenders there for a little bit. And hopefully, everyone has made it out to see all the movies you want to. If you're seeing anything good, if you got any of these new releases you want to make mention of or make sure that we check out, send those our way because we love getting that feedback from everyone. And we'll talk to you next week in the lobby bar.